You've heard it 100 times. Korea is the plastic surgery capital of the world. The surgeons seem to be flawless, the reviews are glowing, and the befores and afters are perfect. I've revised patients though, who flew home from South Korea unhappy with their results. And here's the part that always stops me. When I go looking for the reviews that should have warned them, the bad ones seem to barely exist. Today I want to explain why. Because the answer has very little to do with the surgical skill of the surgeon, or the morals of the surgeon, and almost everything to do with the law in South Korea. Let's start fair. Korea earned a lot, if not all of its reputation. The volume is staggering, the technical training is excellent, and there are genuinely world-class surgeons working there. I'm not here to tell you Korean plastic surgery is bad at all. That would be very dishonest. What I'm here to do is challenge one specific idea. The idea that a spotless online reputation is proof of a spotless result. Because in South Korea, those two things are not the same thing at all. Here's what most patients don't know. In the United States, truth is a defense. If you write an honest review describing your real experience, the surgeon generally cannot win a defamation case against you because what you said was true. Korea does not work that way. In South Korea, a statement can be treated as criminal defamation, even when it is completely true. Think about that. The law does carve out an exception if your statement served the public interest, but here's the catch. The burden is on you, the person who left the review, to prove that your truthful statement was in the public interest. If a court decides it wasn't, you can be convicted. And this isn't just a civil matter where you might owe some money. It's criminal. We're talking about the possibility of fines, and on paper, even jail time, for telling the truth about a bad medical result. Now put yourself in the shoes of an unhappy patient. You had a procedure, you're not happy, and you're considering writing about it. On one side, you help a few strangers avoid the same outcome. But on the other side, you might be looking at a legal complaint, police involvement, lawyers, and your own time and money to defend something you know is true. Most people very rationally just stay quiet. This is what lawyers call a chilling effect. And it's not theoretical. The point of a defamation complaint, in a lot of these cases, isn't even to win. It's to make the process itself so expensive and stressful that people stop talking. Watchdog groups in Korea have made exactly this observation. The threat does the work. The lawsuit itself is almost besides the point. So when you scroll through a Korean clinic's reviews and see a wall of 5-star ratings and very few complaints, you have to ask yourself an honest question. Is that because nothing ever goes wrong? Or because the people for whom something went wrong have every reason in the world to keep their mouths shut? A system that punishes honest negative feedback doesn't produce better surgeons, it produces better silence. And silence photographs beautifully. Let me bring this back to my chair. I've taken care of patients who had surgery in South Korea and came back to me for revision. Good people who did their homework, smart people who read the glowing reviews and reasonably trusted their surgeons and clinics. And in some of those cases, the results simply didn't match the reputation. I want to be very precise here because precision matters. I'm not accusing any individual surgeon or clinic of anything. I'm not naming names, I'm not naming clinics. Some of the best technical work, in fact, that I've ever seen in my life has come out of South Korea. My point is a little bit narrower and I think more important. The review environment over there is structurally tilted. The happy stories get told, but the unhappy ones often get suppressed. Not by the surgeons, but by the law itself. So the data that you're using to choose a surgeon is incomplete by design. And you'd never know it from the outside. So what do you do with this information? First, just recalibrate a little bit. Stop reading flawless Korean review profiles as flawless skill. Read it as an incomplete information database. That one shift protects you more than almost anything else will. And second of all, go where the law has less reach. Foreign patient communities, reviewers writing from outside of South Korea, forums where people aren't sitting under the same legal threat. Those voices tend to be far more candid because they can afford to be. Third of all, weigh the things that are harder to suppress. Consistent befores and afters in photography across many cases. Have multiple in-person or in most cases virtual consultations. How a surgeon talks about complications and revisions is an important thing because the ones who don't discuss failure are the ones you need to steer clear of. And finally, ask yourself, who actually answers when something goes wrong? Medical tourism is a wonderful thing, right up until the moment you need help and a revision, and your surgeon is on the other side of the planet. None of this is anti-South Korea. It's anti-silence. Great surgeons exist everywhere. including South Korea, and especially in South Korea, but a perfect record isn't proof of perfect work. Sometimes it's just proof of a system that made honesty too expensive to post. If this changed how you read a review, do me a favor and share it with someone who's considering surgery abroad. It might be the most useful thing they read before they book their surgery. I'll see you in the next one.